Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, December 9th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple quick clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at WVE, absolute monster mover on the day. And now we have a pattern here that is suggesting some sort of pullback. So let's get this pattern here drawn into play. And so let's get the top part of the pattern right there. And then let's get this bottom part of the pattern right there. Let me, just because I can't help myself, make it a little bit more. Then change that to support, or green to represent support. And this would be a rising wedge pattern, which is actually bearish. Now, let me be very clear. Just because something's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go down. But would not be shocked at all to see this thing pull back a little bit more, which is another thing. A pullback and a reversal are very, very different things. Sure, pullbacks can turn into reversals, but a pullback is not a reversal in and of itself. So just because the price could break down through here and then continue on down doesn't mean that that means this whole thing's going to collapse and fall apart. So even if the price were to, like I said, come down here and then do something like that, well, what would you still have? You'd still have lows there, lows down here. And overall, you'd still very clearly have stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction. So again, please don't conflate a pullback with a reversal. They are two different things. But nonetheless, it is a bearish pattern, the rising wedge. It does suggest that a pullback is maybe going to need to be required here. But we'll see how the week continues to play out. But overall, still a very strong day. Next one here, PAVS, a bizarre day in a kind of deja vu sense, where if you were in this, the past few days, you're probably feeling the same way, because the way that today looks is exactly like Friday, meaning big gap up and then a nasty, nasty fall. And as I talked about not yesterday, but on Friday, it's all about the trend line here. As long as the price stays above the trend line, then you got to give the bulls a chance. And case in point right here. Now, did I know it was once again going to have a big gap up? No, nobody knew that. But the point was there was still some, potential momentum left. But then today, once again, big gap up as it did right here, and then a big old pullback. But once more, the price is still above the overall trend line that I drew in Friday's video. Does that mean that for sure, guaranteed, that another big gap up is going to occur? If only it were that easy. My point here is that it's all a matter of perspective. If you are some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 12 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart looks really, really bad. But if you do care about things from the bigger picture standpoint, then to be fair, the price does still have the opportunity to chip away and build a higher base. So that is where that trend line right there remains a very important area of support. Next one, IBIO, good solid pattern here. And let's get this first drawn into play. So we have our resistance portion of the pattern right there. We have the support portion of it right there. Again, let me change that to green. And then just to keep it all the same color, let's make sure we can all see the pattern. There's our area of resistance. There's our area of support. And then there's the big move up right there. And then to help maybe make it for you golfers out there, make it a little more visual, put the golf down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, earlier I talked about that bearish pattern and how just because something was a bearish pattern didn't mean that for sure guaranteed the price was going to go down. Same is true here, just in the opposite direction. Just because this is a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed if the price breaks up through there, it's going to make an upwards move. Now, is it valid? Is it reasonable to throw that out there as a question of a possibility? Absolutely, but still not guaranteed to happen. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennant patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, CETX, and I'm going to go through this one quicker because we have, once again, that pattern that I just talked about with the bull pennant. Sure, it looks a little bit different, but the same general psychology is true. So there's our area of resistance. Here's our area of support. And then just because I can't help myself, let's make sure everybody can see it. So resistance, support, big move up right there, golf hole down here, and here we are looking at another bull pennant pattern. I just say probably the biggest difference is this one is up over that $5 mark, and in many ways there is a pretty big difference between stocks that are just above $1 and then stocks that get the up into this price range. But either way, if you like bull pennants and you're kind of a little bit all over the place on your price ranges, then you definitely have a couple of choices here moving forward. Next one, NVDA. Price was all over the place. I mean, to think that one point it came up here, all the way back down, then all the way up there, and then all the way back down. But through all the kind of ups and downs, the one thing that matters most, especially if you consider and care about the big picture, is these lows continued to get higher throughout the day, and the highs here continue to get higher. So overall, that is how these upwards trends are built. And that's what's going to continue to be the case as long as, the higher highs and higher lows comes into play. Now, a way more straightforward way to kind of just gauge all this, I would say, is just to watch that purple line right there. 50 period, simple moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So a very straightforward way to kind of gauge the health of the current move is just to watch that purple line. As long as the price stays above that purple line, then overall the chart is doing just fine. Now, once more, there is that perspective that goes into it. If you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within, that 15-second time frame, well, then yes, the chart looks very, very terrible for you. But again, from the grand scheme of it all, the price did pull back, but overall still has plenty of opportunity to build those higher bases. Real quick, I want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem that maybe pertains to you, and that is your desire to be a day trader. And I'm defining day trader as having unlimited day trades every single day. So make as many trades as you want every day, but you can't because of that pattern day trading rule. Well, please understand there is a market out there available to you, and there is a way to get involved with this market at very, very low risk to your capital with a whole lot of upside potential. But I'm well aware this could all sound very sketchy. Totally get it, which is why I say come swing by my live stream and ask me any sort of questions. Watch it with your very own eyes is what I've been doing for over the past year now, and I absolutely love it. And this is a way, like I said, for you to enter into a market that trades very, very nicely, and there's no pattern day trader rule. It's open pretty much around the clock. So if that sounds like something that could help you out in your journey and goals, then definitely swing by the live stream. And like I said, watch it with your very own eyes. Next one, BBAI. And overall, yes, it's pulled back, but big picture wise, everything is doing just fine. But like some of these, it is all about perspective once again, which is always tricky from a presentation standpoint, because for some people I might sound totally crazy. And once more, if you are a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought on the gap up today, that was a nasty, nasty gap and trap. Down it came. But from the overall standpoint, this will mean more if you've watched past videos. I've been talking about that purple line, and you can see price did a great job of holding strong there, and once again did a great job holding strong. So overall, the chart is building those higher bases, and that's what it's all about. And then from the resistance standpoint, and once again, assuming you care about more so the bigger picture, just continue to watch that level right there, because even if I could do this, if we really wanted to turn into a multi-day pattern, I mean, right here, and that's another way you could look at this, just a multi-day bull flag pattern. So several different angles, but once more, assuming that you're not some sort of day trader or scalper that bought right there or bought right there, then overall the chart is doing just fine. Next one, ONDS. I'm going to do this one a lot quicker because I realize I want to respect your time and not beat a dead horse. But same thing. Day traders, flippers, scalpers, if you're buying right there, yes, the chart looks really, really bad for you. If you care about the grand scope of things, it continues to build those higher bases. And as I mentioned previously, the easiest way to gauge that is just to watch that purple line right there. So yes, ONDS, if you're a day trader and you bought right there, not good at all. But if you care about it from the overall standpoint, then higher highs and higher lows is the name of the game, and that's exactly what this one's been doing. Next one, ASST, and very, very nice bounce. Noted about that when you consider where the price was just late day on Friday, and now you look where it's at. Good, solid bounce, but part of this is, okay, yeah, nice bounce, but is there any sort of genuine power behind it? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, it all revolves around this area right here at 91.5 cents. Why is this area important? I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, if the price came down here and then did something like that, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range that it just came from. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make a great move and then all of a sudden go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Now, to be fair, nothing can go straight up. So maybe the price comes down here and does something like this. Now, all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, from the bigger picture standpoint, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have lows right here. And if you envision each of those as stair steps, well, now you have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what a truly strong move is going to do. Not necessarily go straight up, but at least show signs of progress. And in this situation, the quote unquote sign of progress being staying up above that 91.5 cent mark. So overall, that'll be the thing that, in my mind at least, that's most revealing. Can this start to show progress moving forward? And here by staying above 91.5 cents. Next one, NFLX, Netflix. And what I like about this one is very well-known stock, and it's gotten absolutely beat down the past couple of days. So to think that it was here and then all the way down here And now all of a sudden the price is at least starting to go sideways. Now let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there's been this massive beatdown, just because it started to go sideways, does not mean for sure guaranteed this thing is getting ready to head back up. My point here is it's a way more valid scenario. Case in point, let's say the price, came down here and then it's still just dropping. And then I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, well, based on what? The price is still just dropping. But that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. Again, does that mean that it's guaranteed to move back upwards? Of course not. But is that a valid question to throw out there? In my opinion, absolutely. So on that note, if there is going to be any sort of bigger movement in the upwards direction, I think step number one with that will be, can the price break above this area of resistance right there? And then just from kind of a commonsensical standpoint, if this is some sort of bottom, well then by definition it needs to be the bottom. It needs to stop going down. So that is where this 95.40 cent mark, very important, because as long as it stays above there, then my argument holds in play that, okay, it's continuing to go sideways. The longer it goes sideways, the more evidence I think it builds that, okay, maybe this is finally the buyers, taking over the sellers and getting ready to push back up. But overall, popular stock, beat down, now going sideways here a little bit. Let's see if this is an indicator that it's about to at least get a bounce back upwards. Next one, TSLA, Tesla. Very, very brutal move today, but I just want to bring this up within the context of things, and you've heard me, so I'm, again, going through this quicker because I try to respect your time. Yes, day trader, flipper, scalper that we're buying here or anywhere right here, not good, as there has been a bigger pullback. But looking at, and I realize it's hard to see, but that's because we're now looking at multiple weeks. But looking at it from a multiple week standpoint, you can still see that even with the lows right here, you have a low right here, a low right here, low right there, a low right there. And if you envision each of these as those stair steps, then yes, overall, the stair steps still very clearly in the upward direction. So that is more so the overarching context as we zoom back in. But now in the very near term, it has started to bounce back up nicely here. Still more work that needs to be done. What was the first bit of major quote unquote work? Well, let's see if the price can get back above that purple line there. 50 period simple moving average right now valued at 446. We'll call it 85. So keep an eye on that for more of the overarching dynamic. Sure, there's still resistances up here and, right around there, but one hurdle at a time, and first got to see if the price can get above that purple line. As far as areas of support, nothing fancy here. Just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop today? And the bleeding finally stopped right there at 435. So that'll be the main area of support. If the price can hold above there, then I'm not saying it's dropping straight down to there, but I do think that 200 period moving average becomes potentially in play down around the 422 mark. But also, like I said, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, given that not only has 435 held very nicely, but it's also produced a nice little bounce here. But like I said, big picture wise, Tesla is still perfectly fine, even with a bigger pullback today. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trader rule, maybe you just have a busy schedule and you'd like a market that's open pretty much around the clock, then definitely check out what I've been doing. Swing by the live stream, watch it with your very own eyes, and ask me any sort of questions that you may have, as I'd be happy to provide clarity. It's something, like I said earlier, that I've been doing, and it's really game-changing stuff. I wish it was all available when I got started back in the day, but nonetheless, it's here, and it's a great tool to be using. So come swing by the live stream and check it out. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, and take care, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.